So good morning, everybody, and good afternoon, good evening. We have from different continent. This is Deepak. Uh, I'm working as a senior consultant with Solvira Solutions. So you will find Solvira Solutions at my header on some screen. I'm CSAP Corner MVP, and I'm based on Regina. Apart from that, I'm Regina chapter lead. So it is the community platform where we exchange knowledge with each other by our meetings, by webinars, seminars, etc. So you could find me on deepakosik.com, which is my blog website. Doing tweet from handler Think for Deepak. I'm happy to connect with LinkedIn on this my URL, and I would be most happy if you join Regina chapter from this URL so that you have all the details about seminars, webinars, and different stuff. So today the objective of session is what exactly are microservices, how it's different from different approach, say monolithic or traditional approach. What is the service fabric? We will do a couple of demos to understand it better. We will touch base with ACS and then we will take questions and answer. As I told earlier, like we are recording this session and you will find a couple of headers and footers related to Solvira Solutions CSAP Corner 1 and 2 from DevTeach, where I'm speaking on next month. So deliberately I put that about DevTeach. So anybody's at Montreal next first week of July, they could join DevTeach event. Okay, what is the microservices? As we know, microservices is nowadays or from last couple of years is one of the hot topic which everyone want to discuss and customer want to implement. The reason for that is microservices is architectural style of self-contained approach that need to deliver unique functionality. That means it is microservices is not a holistic view of the services, but it is a subset of the service-oriented architecture. More than one microservices work together and they can deliver solve business capability. For example, let's divide one large uh, service-oriented architecture into microservices. We could consider online order services where we have account services, order services, product services, and promotion services. We can have this under one layer of service-oriented architecture, or one service is monolithic or SOA services. However, microservices suggest us that we could have, different services. We could have different services so that each services has different responsibility. Microservices suggest us to deliver the unique functionality by each service. What does that mean? That means promotion services, inventory services, account services, order and product, all our subset services should behave independently. Instead of they should work as a collective unit, but all these services can work together to deliver the whole business output. Another benefit, we can have microservices on different languages. We could not, it doesn't restrict us to use single SOA architecture where whole architecture is on .NET platform or PHP platform or Java platform. So that is the leverage we could have. We have independent services working on independent technology as per business need or as per down the time what the technology at that point of time is in more suited to our business requirement. Apart from that, if I have to display monolithic versus microservices, as I told, microservices is the subset of the services. Monolith is only single attribute, where microservices is the division of that services. Let's consider some monolithic challenge before we put on to the microservices. Why microservices? We need microservices or business need microservices. As we know, size is always growing, scalability. If we have one service oriented architecture, size is keep on increasing. Down the time today, we may plan for 3 services, but in future it may be 30 services. Scalability is expensive because we have to address 30 services. Not we can't zero down to one microservices. We could consider, okay, there would be one problem in one microservices, but still we have to deploy whole application because it's the long code base, so we have longer development time. It took long deployment. We have fixed technology stack as we look over earlier. If I have started developing .NET SOA framework in 2012, probably after 5 years, it would be the 2012. It has long downtime because it is a huge size of application and it is tightly coupled. Rebuild require even after a small change. So we could say monolithic is the single unit. SOA is, you can say, loosely coupled, but microservices we could say is decoupled. So we are moving from single unit tightly coupled to, we had earlier loosely coupled concept for SOA, but microservices are the decoupling. Why we need microservices? There are varied and various reasons. Couple of them is they are flexible, deployment is faster because they are single part or required part. Different development team can work independently. Dedicated services for specific business functionality. There are more flexibility. We could use right technology at right time. Probably today we could work on Visual Studio 2015 or 2017, and after 5 years we could work on another enhanced version or totally different version. Micro is services is subset of whole services, so it has less code, and microservices communicate by each other by REST, and they are very loosely coupled. But the question which come into our mind, why microservices is in feature now or come into the screen now? So there are couple of reasons we will discuss, and we will find zero down why exactly we need microservices. There are many reasons, but one of them or couple of them is nowadays we are work on agile methodology. We don't have the project where we have to deliver after 3 years or like waterfall. We have that timeline. Now we have to respond very quickly, and microservices is fitted into that requirement. Technology is changing very fast, so we could not keep ourselves 5 year or 10 years outdated to technology trend. So that is another reason where microservices come into picture, and it has very business domain design. Like we could work deployment, we could deploy and work or host the single components. Another benefit is we could scale different application. Development team can be more agile and maybe roll out to the faster and more frequently. Microservices has shorter development time, reliable and faster deployment, enable frequent updates. And it has, because it is a smaller code subset, so it has more fast issue resolution. Decoupling is the another benefit, and it's highly scalable because I know exactly where I need to focus. This is one of the favorite screen, thanks Microsoft for this, where we could see traditional application approach. We have one application which is dependent over all the 3 layers, which can be the web layer, business or data layer. As we could see on left hand side, that is the traditional approach, whereas on microservices we could see, services are work in a smaller component. we can work for application A or application B or on different components. So we are not dependent on whole application. However, we have to focus on smaller subset. So Microsoft design principle which leverage us to use it as per business requirement. We can scale independently. If we have to scale one component, we doesn't need to touch base with another component. As we discussed earlier, it gives us strength of different technology stack. We could have, one framework on .NET, another is on JS, Node.js. We could do independent deployment. Initially, if we have V1 version, we could have another V2 version. That is not possible for traditional approach because we have to deploy whole component, not about single subset, and it reduce the dependency itself because it's more loosely coupled. So that is the couple of things we touch base about microservices, why microservices come into picture, what is the monolithic, uh, what is the SOA architecture, why we need it, in which things it would be beneficial for us. Now the platform which hosts microservices, or the strength which we are getting about, not about hosting, say, load balancing, deployment, highly SLA, how we can achieve that, we need that platform. And Microsoft has provided us that platform with the name Microsoft Azure Service Fabric. Azure Service Fabric is a Microsoft platform. It leverages to deploy, package, and manage scalable and reliable microservices. Microservices can be installed in microservices public cloud or another window Linux public cloud like Amazon, IBM, Google. What does it mean? Like, we can deploy microservices on Microsoft domain as well as another cloud domain. It's not restricted up to Microsoft. We could use Amazon, IBM, Google, or we could use private cloud itself. Service Fabric supports all languages like .NET, Java, Node.js. We have some third-party component also available for Service Fabric. Service Fabric can run from Azure data center or virtual machine. So that is another benefit we could have. It's not limited up to the data center. We could execute or run it from virtual machines. So another good screen which talk about what we have just rephrased or read earlier. It could be on DevBox, it could be on Azure cloud, it could be on-prem, or it could be on cloud, another cloud. So that is another benefit of Azure Service Fabric. If we choose microservices or Azure Service Fabric, it could help us to deploy our microservices on any platform. Lifecycle management, highly availability. We will look over this on our demo. Health and monitoring, auto scaling, how we could achieve that. Service Fabric preview for Linux and its global accessibility. So let's look over Service Fabric applications. There are I think 4 or 5 type of Service Fabric application, but today we will most importantly we will concern or deal with stateless application or stateful application, and we will touch base with our demo on that. Stateless application is a service where state is persist to Azure database or Azure storage, or stateful application is the local persistence. Another different framework is also available for Service Fabric which could be hosted. So let's do a stateless service demo. And to do service state demo, let me open my Visual Studio. Remember to open as an administrator. As we open it as administrator, we will find SDK tool. So I will do new project. I will go to cloud and service fabrics. So let's do webinar 28th June. That is my webinar on 28th June. And after that, I'm doing for stateless service, say stateless service webinar for our project. So I open Visual Studio. On Visual Studio, I open cloud template. Under that, we have service template. So I click OK. It will open auto-generated code base for me. We will take a look over with that, and then we will check how it would be, how the services can be deployed or used over here. If you look over the code which is generated, it has two projects. One is the project, our main project, Stateless Service Webinar. Another is the webinar 28 June. The two project template name which we have given. We have an async run, as we could see, it's async execution of microservices. If we want to deploy it on cloud, we can deploy it cloud and we can deploy it locally. So these are some of the properties of this. If we have to say deploy it on cloud, we will look over that part. But prior to that, let's we did not make any change, and let's clean it and rebuild it and run it. I just did F5 so that we could look over the microservices part, how it will behave. As I will run F5, look over the output window, it start executing the project, it start deploying the project, and after that it will create local instance of service fabric.svc. Local, it start creating local cluster which is 4% completed, and now it's increasing, it's 8% increase, and it would be the, as we know about our SOA deployment or WCF deployment, it can be the self-hosting or self-deployment or IaaS deployment. So same thing is happen here. This time we are doing deployment at my local machine. My local machine will work as a cluster, and the microservices will be deployed over here. However, same thing can be achieved at cloud itself when we will deploy it cloud. So it's deployed 33%, and after that deploy it. Let me close this and open portal.azure.com so that we could look over deployment and cloud itself. If you go over here and write service fabric, we can create till that time one service fabric. Okay, it's ready and it start deploying our services message. You could see the counter. So to open it, here you could see at right corner of your project there is a the service fabric local cluster. You can right click it and manage local cluster. If you do manage local cluster, you could see one application is running having 5 nodes. We look over that we are having 5 nodes over there, and this is the cluster map. Node 1, 2, 3 different cluster maps are over there. Some detail about manifest, and this is metadata. If we go application, we could see service job type, service application webinar 28 June, which is deployed. Sound good. And it's our webinars. Its health status is okay. It's showing, hey, I'm happy guy at this point of time. So there is no problem. And node 4 is our primary node. So let's consider a real-time scenario, but prior to that I would leverage to ask question. If anybody have question, they can ask question here. One opportunity to ask question in between. Okay. Okay, sound good. So we are all set till now. Now consider one scenario where we have our services deployed, and because of any reason our service stopped working. So I got the question from Rifat. Thanks Rifat for asking this question. Or question is individual node are threads of local computer, or they are the individual process? Rifat, these are the individual process. They are not thread of local computer. They are the individual process which are the part of subset of fabric, and they are working with they are working independently of that. Another question? Thanks Rifat. Another question? Okay, so let's consider a scenario where you know where because we deployed our service and service stopped working. So in that case, I would like you guys to look on my left part of screen. Let me, as well as I would like, we will focus over here. I hope everybody could see my screen. We have nodes increasing till 230. So at any point of time, this service node 4 stop working, server gets down, we deployed it, or there is some error, what will happen? In real-time scenario, we could find, you know, error 404, like service not found, or we got the mail from client, hey, its service is down. Now let's look over how it's behaving. It's increasing. Hey, we could see service fabric error. We could see opening service fabric error. There is some issue over here, and webinar service has stopped working, and but it's resume work again. It's not down. All cluster doesn't stop immediately or doesn't stop, but count is increasing, but can't start increasing by 1, not from 255 our last count is. So what does it mean? It means it make another node as secondary node. So that is the benefit, another node as primary node. That is the benefit we achieve by microservices, right? In real-time scenario, if this would be our service, if it gets down, our application gets down, or it will redirect it to disaster recovery server or another concept, but still it would have taken, you know, a couple of minutes, I would say, and there would be the involvement. But here, all these things are taken care by our framework, Service Fabric framework, and that's the beauty. So our Service Fabric framework handles which node would be the primary. If one node stopped working, what would be the next course of action? Which node would be make primary? So it's not that cool feature. I found it's really very cool. So being a developer, if we deployed it, we could say it would be high time availability, and that's what Service Fabric ensure. They are saying 99.9% availability, highly available, and we just look over in our demo. So I'm stopping this demo for now. I will deploy it on cloud, but prior to that, let's initiate from where we have started, and another demo would be on stateful service, where we will do on cloud as well as local deployment. So Service Fabric cluster, we look for 5 clusters just now, and we look over they are communicating with each other. The topology of communication between Service Fabric is the ring topology, and by ring topology, if one cluster or one VM stop working, we could consider it as a VM for a point of time. It will redirect it to the another Service Fabric cluster. So let's take example of let's try to understand what we did. We have load balancer, which is provided by Microsoft. In this case, my Microsoft Visual Studio Work has load balancer, and redirect my call either VM1 or cluster 5 or 4 or 3. It's not me to decide. It's Visual Studio which decided it, and that's what this beautiful screen conveying that. Like, it's about our cluster. It can be redirect to port, any port. It can be redirect. We have 5 clusters. We can deploy it on Azure cloud or on-prem or any another, not Amazon, but any third-party cloud itself. We was having 5 cluster which are connected by ring topology, and we have load balancer in between. We look over, when we got the request, it's get redirected because load balancer take that responsibility, and we look over it is highly available because of its ring topology architect for Service Fabric. That's what we had, but now this is time to having another demo of stateful services. You will find this demo similar to another demo, but one difference of the nature, and I would ask that question to you guys. What is that demo? Right click, run as administrator. We have to open as administrator, otherwise you will find some restriction where you will find, okay, it's not you can't restart it because you don't have service admin rights. So it's open it with admin domain. Okay, demo 2, it would be the webinar 28 June. It would be stateful for us. Stateful. I click it, stateful service demo. So meanwhile that's demo that's running, let's create a cluster webinar 28th. It's asked me, this is if someone don't have portal till now, they can have Azure portal. You will get free credit of $200 per month. I have my subscription, MP and Microsoft partner subscription. Thanks to Solvira solutions to provide me, as well as I have my dev subscription, which is, you could use. You could use any data center with container, Ubuntu, but let's take, Windows Data Center, and username webinar 28. Let's make it webinar itself. Password is, I will not let you know. So another password I have given. This is the subscription. Resource group is the container. You could say resource group is like folder, where you could have all the resource together like similar file. And East US is my location. No type, let default 1. Configure required setting, no type name, bronze, VM size. I would not like to configure, diagnose, create application log storage. Let's make it off. Enter service fabric properties. I will go with the default one. It asks me to no type name, webinar 28, node, webinar node. I think it has some restriction on character. Webinar. Durability, if you need any information from here, how much you want to spot, gold spot for G5, where it has some, bronze has different standards. Virtual machine, which virtual machine you want to select? I will select the basic one. You can have 2 core, 5 core, or you could see, different virtual machine. If you don't have Azure subscription till yet, you will find it exactly, virtual machine which we have taken. It shows the monthly cost. On top of it, the cost will be very less if you will use it pay per use. I will show you my couple of subscription which I enable when I actually need them. So you can use the subscription for that, and you can do every stuff over here, host your application. Enable reverse proxy if you want to use HTTPS or reverse proxy, you could use that. So I click OK. Now we have node over here. I click OK. Well, I would like to make it unsecure. I don't want to give the security description as of now. So we could download our template. It has details of our template or service fabric which we have just created, and I could see my screen. It's Deepak resource for webinar. Till the time it's activate from here, let's go to code. This is the stateful webinar, and the code, you could found some difference over here, but it it is also 5 nodes. So I'm not making any change over here. I just want to give you a comparative study between these two stateless and stateful services, and then we will use deploy it on cloud. So it start deploying, and till the time it's deploying, we will look over our service fabric explorer, but I will close that and I will open again once it will deploy. This is my output window, and here till that time I'm over there. Okay, so my cluster are running, application has been deployed. That's cool. So let's look over manage. I went to extreme right side of my node. I went to the manage local cluster. As I click on manage local cluster, it opened the application. Let's look over the application. One application is deployed having 5 nodes. That's cool. We have primary nodes, replica count, cluster map, 5 node I could see. We can have manifest, but here we have 3 nodes. Earlier we have 2 nodes. Here we have 3 nodes. Okay, there is some difference between stateful and stateless application. Let's look over, try to figure out what's the difference. Webinar 28 June is the stateful type which we had, right? We look over that part, and we could say here there are one primary node, that is node 4, and 2 secondary node 0 and node 2. Whereas in stateful service, we have, in stateless service we have only one node. So that's the difference between these two. But let's look over here. As it is the stateful, so it means it should preserve the state of my application. If I go to node 4 and I will restart it, say because of any reason a node restart, that's real-time scenario. Here I'm explicitly restarting it. What will happen? What will happen in that scenario? So look over here, it's node 4. Node 4 is opening, node 4 is restarted, and it took less than, I think, 2 seconds, and it's preserved the state. Oh yes, it's preserved the state. That's why it is the stateful service fabric. Look, and in stateless service fabric the count start from 1, and here it start from the last previous state. So that's the benefit we could figure out. But let's look over what is the active service node. It's not ready yet, but now node 2 is the primary node. So what does it mean? It means it adhere to the disaster recovery, highly availability, security, compliances. If we have, excuse me, if we have, our service hosted, and because of any reason, if it stop working, one node is stop working, automatically our framework, which is service fabric framework, take care of that and upload, and make another node as the primary node. Okay, so this is our deployment of service fabric cluster. Now let's take a quick look and deploy it on cloud so that we could understand how easy it is to deploy it locally or cloud. We create our service fabric cluster earlier, and I just save it. I gave the connection string endpoints. I will clean it, rebuild project, and now instead of local deployment we will do the cloud deployment. I will publish it. It's asking me, hey, I'm publishing over here, right? Let's copy. I say, okay, publish over here. And it start publishing at cloud. Instead of opening from here, now it would be published at cloud cluster. So if you are cloud user and you want to publish it at any cloud, say for me it was the Azure, but for you it may be the IBM or Amazon or anything, you could publish from here. The URL which we got is this URL, right? Let me start it. Okay, it could not connect to my cloud service fabric. So let's fix it live in our demo, right? Let me create one fabric, service fabric. Okay, service fabric cluster, webinar 28, Windows Server data. We look over that feature, username, we give username. This is the my MPN subscription. Webinar is my resource. We talk about resource. What does resource means? Resource means you could say like folder. So what configuration we need? Configuration name webinar, and I would say bronze VM size. We look over VM size earlier, standard. I will slightly, we don't need reverse proxy, and okay. We want to make it unsecure as not certification. Okay, validation passed, create. So its deployment has been started. Deployment is in progress. Here we could say deployment. So till the time it's deploying, and I know on cloud we have to deploy it, but we complete it till here so that we will be on time. Demo 2 we completed for stateful service. So let's revisit our learning, what microservices are, how it's different from SOA, what service fabric is, how to create service fabric from web portal, that is Azure portal. We just created that. Stateful service demo for local deployment and cloud deployment, and stateless service demo, we did that. Till that time, deployment is in progress, and that was our understanding over here. So if you didn't join with tech community, join with tech community, you will find details. I will happy to take questions and answer now, and so that we can have our time, overlap between our deployment as well as we can use this time for giving the answers to the questions. So I would happy to take any question now. Okay. So if there is no questions for me, can I ask one question from audience? Yeah. So I would like to check with you guys, what is the best reason you find to use microservices, or do we actually need to use microservices? What do you think about that? You can write on your chat windows, and we can look over that. Or anybody who is working on microservices? Okay. One question from Tamir is stateful or stateless, which is, it's good to use. So I would say earlier we were in that condition where we were asked to preserve the state, and I remember I was preserving the state by using SQL Server, writing the code explicitly at SQL Server, right? So same thing is this time also. That depend on the business requirement, but in maximum cases we need to preserve the state. For example, if I have my banking website where the counter is running, million of counter is running, I don't want to start the same counter run again from zero. In that case, the stateful is the most suited for me, where I will start from last transaction where it not get failed. So for me, that depend on business to business, but yeah, on banking domain or where we could not afford to fail our transactions, in that case, we have the stateful. Stateless is something, say, school website where we have attendance record or record of students related to his marks, which is probably we can afford. Okay, it would not be in million, it would maybe in thousand, and then we can start from beginning. So in that, stateless would be the case.
Deepak, I have a question. Can I ask?
Yeah, sure, Biren.
Oh yeah. Deepak, is it possible to create service compositions for number of microservices, like 1, 2, 3 microservices are talking with each other? They are passing data from one service to another service, like we used to do it in a case of soap-based services. Like there are certain standards governing service composition. So is it possible to perform service composition in a case of microservices? And if what are the standards, or which standard, which specification governs that composition?
Good question, Biren. Definitely, if there would not be communication, then it would not be framework, right? Microservices can are communicating with each other. As we look over the example, they are the subset of a major functionality which need to deliver. So they need to deliver, it means they have configuration file of each other. They are passing some data or sharing some data across each other, or accessing, some case accessing the data. So that is the first reason. Yes, they are communicating with each other, and without communication, yeah, they are not isolated, because data need to be transferred, information need to be transferred. What about we talk about standardization? So it is the framework, right? As we look, as earlier you are experienced by singleton framework, we look over how to create only single instance, not more than one instance of particular object or case. The same stand true with microservices. It's upon our individual implementation. We may adhere to our project standardization, or we may adhere to our project standardization, application standardization, our company standardization, or client standardization. So it's really standard of this would be depend on individual implementation. Say in a team, two developer might work on different way, and that's the answer of what I think. Like probably 4 guys are writing code at same time, and 4 are writing code differently. So that's what I think. I hope I
Yes.
addressed.
Yes, Deepak, I got the answer. But still, certain concerns are there in my mind regarding microservices, regarding composability standards. So I'm not exactly able to understand whenever uh, 5 or 6 services are communicating with each other. I'm not talking about client. One service, microservice, you can consume it by creating some, let's say, mobile client, let's say some web client, or desktop client. We can consume it, is it? But whenever one microservice, another microservice, and third microservice are engaging themselves in a long service activity, they are performing they are automizing some sort of business process automation. And in that case, there must be certain standards of message passing with each other, some sort of communication standards. So there must be some standards, like in a case of as soap-based services. I'm trying to compare the things with the things I know. That is, and that might be the problem for me to understand, because when I hear microservices, I always in my mind certain things about soap-based services and race-based services, which I know. Is that, and from that perspective, I'm asking this question, that in a case of soap-based services, we have certain governance standard in SOA. For example, WS business activity, the WS star, second generation web service specifications are there. That we use in order to ensure service composability. Similarly, in a case of microservices, are there does there exist any kind of specifications which allows us to govern the complex service activity, like once 2, 5, 6 services are communicating with each other, and they are communicating for longer duration of time?
So, Biren, I would say I will get back with the exactly standardization process of this. I don't have idea at this point of time which standardization we are talking about, or which standardization we should adhere to. But for me, it would be, say, project and company standardization. But this is good question. Definitely, I will get back to you.
Thank you very much, Deepak.
Thanks, Biren.
Thank you.
Rifat has another question. I think we can make our modular development more organized with microservices. But is microservices a form of serverless architecture? Well, it's really hard to say it is serverless architecture. Yeah, it's make first question, first point, more organized. That's correct. It will make more organized, but it would not be serverless architecture. Uh, Rifat. So with this, I have already deploying. I think my portal is taking time, but as we look over how to deploy, thanks Rifat, how to deploy it, appreciated your question, how to deploy it on server. It's only about, giving the deployment of name from here, and it will deploy on cluster. But since my portal doesn't allowing me right now, and deployment is still taking, hey, deploy succeed, clap. No, we will complete it just now. Okay, so this is our cluster webinar cloud. So I'm happy it's completed, otherwise I have to take another 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, save it and clean it and publish it. It's publishing over here. I published it, publishing started, publish succeeded, clapping. So we are now hosted, and we are hosted over here. Let me open it again. Cool. So we could see we hosted our, hosted our application, and we hosted at on cloud. How we hosted, we create the service fabric, build to succeeded, and it, it hosted. We created the service fabric at portal. How we created it, we look our whole process. It has 5 nodes, we could see over here. It has 5 nodes, similar when it has the local deployment, and we give the name webinar one, health status is okay, it's running. And same thing, if we look over here, we could find the detail. We have one application over here. We could see our service finally at cloud, and primary is node 0, secondary is node 2. We can do same stuff from here itself. We can, restart or kill at any point of time our service, and same feature, right? Say underscore webinar and underscore 0. And if we restart, it will make another service as another node as the primary node. These are the active node. We could see the status, and it's getting restarted. And same thing on cluster window, we could see here. And if I refresh now, webinar 1 is over there. We have 4 nodes, and primary is now webinar 4. So instead of 0, it made 4 as my node, and that's what I have. We have question and answer, and I would like to thank you guys. Thank you from joining from different continent, getting your time. I hope you learn about microservices. You are able to compare about service-oriented framework monolith, how we can deploy it on cloud or local deployment. I'm 2 minutes ahead of my time, so I would like to thank everybody. I would like to thank you, Solvira Solutions, my employer in Regina, Canada base. I would like to thank CSAP Corner as well as the DevTeach, which gave me opportunity to speak on DevTeach event. You will find this at YouTube, CSAP Corner. So whatever the question you have written, you have asked, you will hear you on channel 9. And thank you. I hope you learned it. Please give us your feedbacks. That will give us motivation and direction to proceed in the right way, and we will keep and we will try our level best to keep you updated with cutting edge technology. Thank you so much. And Rahat, over to you.
Thank you, bro, for your great interactive presentation. I really enjoyed that one, and hopefully people also like enjoyed your session. And also, as you have mentioned, that this session will be available in channel 9, so they'll be able to see that. So can you see my screen?
Yeah, I could see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So welcome to my presentation now. I'm going to talk about cognitive services today. My one will be a bit more demo based, where I will go through different APIs of cognitive services, and also show some demos of Face API, spell check, Bing News Search, like that. So I am Rahat Yasir, Microsoft MVP, and also C# Corner MVP. I'm also working at University of Saskatchewan right now as a researcher. Okay, so let's talk about cognitive services then. So Microsoft Cognitive Services. So what is cognitive services? Cognitive services are considered as a collection of powerful AI algorithms developed by experts to allow systems to see, hear, speak, understand, and interpret our needs using natural methods of communication. It is also like considered as the human side of an app. APIs work cross-platform to provide intelligent data, and these APIs are also constantly improving, learning, and getting smarter. So experiences are always up to date. Simply, what we can do is like we can drop the API call into our own into our own code, and it's set. We will get different types of so we can use different types of cognitive services. We can access the APIs from any kind of app that we want to interface with them with just a few lines of code. And whatever APIs are available, the first one is vision. Like from faces to feelings, allow our apps to understand images and video. We have APIs for speech, like we can hear and speak to our users by filtering noise, identifying speakers, and understanding intent. We have APIs for language, like process text and learn how to recognize what users want. We have APIs for knowledge, like we can tap into rich knowledge amassed from the web, academia, or our own data. And we can use the APIs of search, where we can access billions of web pages, images, videos, and news with the power of Bing APIs. So if all the services like information management, big data storage, machine learning, and analytics intelligence, all of them are considered as each of the, yeah, as pillars of Cortana Intelligence Suite. So Cortana Intelligence Suite enables business to transform data sources to intelligent actions using analytical techniques like machine learning, data mining, etc. All we need to know is cognitive services is in the intelligence pillar of the cognitive intelligence suites. These are like combination. We like last week. We not last week, like 2 weeks ago, we had another webinar where I talked about Azure Machine Learning Studio. Uh, we did some data analysis over there using Titanic data data set. So that is like everything Azure Machine Learning Studio, Cortana, cognitive services or bot framework or Power BI, all of them are now considered as the part of Cortana Intelligence Suite. So what type of services we get? As we have already mentioned, like vision, speech, language, knowledge, search. These type of services are provided by cognitive service, but in each category we can have for vision we have APIs for computer vision, emotion, face, video. For speech we have APIs for custom recognition, speaker recognition, speech translator. For language we have Bing spell check, linguistic analysis, language understanding, text analytics, WebLM. For knowledge, we have academic knowledge, entity linking, knowledge exploration, recommendations. For search, we have Bing web search, Bing image search, Bing video search, Bing news search, and Bing auto search. We will go through some of these services where I will show some of the demos regarding vision APIs, speech, and search APIs. So if you want to obtain API subscription key, we will have to go to www.microsoft.com/cognitive, and it's we will have to call REST. Those services are REST services, so we will just integrate those APIs with our existing solutions, any type of existing solution like our mobile application or web application or UWP app. And also these services support other platforms as well, like iOS or Android, so we can easily integrate these web APIs with our existing solutions and easily use the power of machine learning using cognitive service. So let's go to this site www.microsoft.com/cognitive services. So this is cognitive service section, uh, where we can see a lot of options like image, uh, there are like different types of like APIs and all, like the services are available like contribution API, face, uh, video render, emotion API. For speech we have different types of like being speech API, custom speech services. For language we have some. For knowledge we have recommendations API, academic knowledge API. For search labs we have. So all these APIs are already implemented by expert Microsoft researchers, and what we like the only thing that we need to know, like all of them are properly documented as well. The only thing is we will use those APIs, integrate them with our system and use them. And I will show few demos how easy it is to integrate these services with our existing one. So why Microsoft Cognitive Service? The first thing is like it's easy. Second thing, it's flexible. Third thing is it's tested. So why it's easy? You can roll your own own with REST APIs, and it's very simple to add. With you can add cognitive services in just using just few lines of code, and with your existing system. It's flexible. It's very flexible because these APIs, you can use these APIs in your existing system like iOS, Android, Windows. Those are platform independent as well. That's why it's very easy to use and flexible as well. And tested. It is built by experts in their field from Microsoft Research, Bing, and Azure Machine Learning. And quality of documentation, sample code, and community support is already there to help us. So what are the characteristics of an intelligent app? So if we look at this scenario, then there are actually we have two things to compare, like how the user sees it and what it means for you as a developer. So if we consider like personalized, friendly, approachable, and natural characteristics of an intelligent app, then we can see that the meaning of these characteristics for a developer are like facial recognition, emotion detection, text and speech interaction, and there will be like 360-degree of awareness of the users. If we think about like predictive, current, and familiar situation, then for developers we will have to consider like changes in real time based on user action and new external data. We'll have to consider like predictive models based on user context to anticipate actions. And if we look at if users want the system should be always available and always contextual, then for developers it means the system should be robust, should have robust information management, information management, and the experiences delivered across all form factors, and a wide variety of interaction models like touch, speech, text should be provided by the developer for the system. And also it should be distributed there should be distributed support for the system to the user, and also it should be massively scalable and elastic, so that it will be like pretty flexible and easy for users to use. So what if apps we can develop through cognitive services? We can see on the screen that there are some apps like these free apps are powered by Microsoft Cognitive Services. You can see captionbot.ai or celebritiesLike.me or howold.net or twinsornot.net. I will show demo of howold and twinsornot.net a bit later, so that you guys can have a better understanding of the overall scenario of cognitive services. So the main reason of launching cognitive services for Microsoft is to give developers the power of machine learning. So it's like we are developers. We are like we could be like web or mobile developers, but we are not like machine learning expert, or we don't have even time or data to build model that will work for us and do different types of like processing to help our life, to make our life easy. Microsoft has launched cognitive services where they are maintaining the data set, they are maintaining the whole scenario, they are designing the model. The only thing that we need to do is use those APIs of those models and integrate them with our existing system, and that's it. And we'll be able to use the benefits of cognitive services and machine learning. So what if like APIs, like as I have already mentioned, like there's some I will go through some of the APIs and then I will show some demo. And my overall presentation today is pretty short, so and precise as well. So vision APIs, so what we can do is like using vision APIs we can analyze an image, and we all have heard about like OCR, optical character recognition systems, where we will take a photo of some text, and our system will recognize the text from that photo and write it for us, or yeah, we will get the copy of those text from the image. So OCR capabilities are available in cognitive services. I will show a demo just after that. And we can also like create thumbnails. Like if we have a like web application where we are showing like all the images in different formats, then we can use thumbnails for that one. Where if the user create a big thumbnail, then from using the cognitive service, we will be able to generate big thumbnails and show them. We won't need to think about any particular image service, or we won't need to run any other service for this job. We have for image analyze image service, we understand the content and feature within an image. So it's pretty cool actually. Like there are like services like OCR where we detect and recognize words within an image. So within a photo. Uh, yeah, OCR services are available. Uh, this is a simple example of an OCR service. The left image is an image with a code, where if we take the photo or if we upload the photo, then like the things and use the cognitive service, then and send this photo to the cognitive service API, then the return, then the response we will get is the right one. We can see that all the texts are there, and cognitive service will easily, very and very precisely, will return all the text to us, and we won't need to do anything. There are APIs for face APIs, where we can detect, verify, group, and identify people from the image, like this. Suppose they're the left one is the input image, where if we use cognitive service, upload the left image, and then our cognitive service will do some facial recognition. Like it will find out it will find out at first it will mark down the rectangular face, and then it will find out different landmarks on that face. From the landmarks, it will tell you who is that person, if and like is it male or female, what is the predictive age of that person, what is the height, width of the face, and some other characteristics as well. Uh, there are face API verification, where we can keep two different faces and determine whether these two faces are of the same person or not. The left and right, there are APIs in cognitive service where we can upload to image. I will show a demo of this one as well, and cognitive service will make a comparison and tell us like whether these two are the same person or not. We can do face API grouping. Like we can upload a bunch of photo, and according to the age, according to gender, cognitive service will group all the photos for us, and will return clustered clustered like set of photos, clustered group of photos, detect like according to different characteristics of different people, like their age or gender or something like that. So now we will go through and go through some demos and see them one by one. So the first demo would be the uh, like how happy or how are you, let me upload a photo of Deepak and see how happy he is on this photo. So this is a public a web application that is available. It's like howhappy.azure websites.net. So I'm just uploading the photo and analyzing it. So you can see we are working on it. Yep, one face detected, and we sorted them by happiness. So the average happiness on this photo is 83%. So our brother Deepak is 83% happy on this photo. So if I just check the same application on my face, then what would happen? Let's see. So that's me. Okay, I'm happier than Deepak. I didn't expect that. So yeah, my happiness level is 96%. So you can do this type of cool things using Azure Cognitive Services, Microsoft Cognitive Services. So as I have mentioned that there are like lots of face APIs and are available. So from the Cognitive Service side, we can see there is Vision, and I have selected Face API. These are the this is the Face API page, where as I've mentioned, like we can uh, find out the similarity and dissimilarity between two images. So let me upload two images. One is the image of Deepak, and another one is the image of me. And after uploading these two random images, cognitive services like doing some analysis on those images and telling us verification result, like the two faces belong to different people. Confidence is 0.22761. So I don't need to do anything. I'm just using these APIs, and all of them are provided, and uploading our photos, and they're returning us our information. And also there's some information regarding face detection. So let's upload a photo of Deepak and see what happened. Yep, you can see we got a JSON result where we can see our cognitive service has detected the face. This is the rectangular shape of the face, like the rectangular boundary of the face, where the hair, it has detected the hair. It's 0.01% like baldness. No, so Deepak has a lot of hair. We can see. We can see the hair color is blonde. It is returning everything actually. Uh, the smile level is 32%, and also the gender is male. So from that image, this the cognitive service has detected that this is the photo of a male, and it has also predicted the age is like 34.7. Beard 0, you can see that there is no glass. It has mentioned no, and also you can see emotions like anger 0, only like 1%. So he is not angry on this photo. Happiness is 32%. It's neutral, yes. Sadness is very less. Surprise factor is also very less. So, and also other things, we can see the noise level, exposure, uh, and a lot of other information. So all the services are available in cognitive services. So I don't need to do anything. So things like face identification, similar face search that we have just done, face grouping are there, and we can easily integrate them with our existing system. I will show some demo of that one as well. So there is another API like on under Vision, like computer vision API. Let's check them. We have already used them. Okay, so this is the section for computer vision API, where you can see, as I have already mentioned, about uh, the OCR, optical character recognition application. contribution API falls under like OCR falls under contribution API section. So you can see that's a photo with some text, and our cognitive service has successfully recognized the photo and writing those text over there. So if I upload a new photo like this one, regional chapter, then what happens? Let's see. Looks like it's not responding. Okay, let me refresh the site. Let me browse the photo. Yep, the photo is uploaded. You can see this is the banner of our last event on Azure Data and Machine Learning, where I have used this photo to recognize optical characters of this image. You can see we have successfully detected everything like regional chapter, working with Azure Data using machine learning, my name, my Twitter handler, Onindo, ANIND0, date, Deepak's name, Twitter handler, and time and date time as well. So it is already developed. We will just need to use them, and even like not only OCR for images. If we have some handwritten document, if we want to like convert them into digital data, so we can use cognitive service like this is like handwritten document or image where we have used cognitive service to recognize the text of this image, and it's very easy. So, and also we can also recognize celebrities and landmarks. Like that's a celebrity, like CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella. So you can see, like we can, if we upload a photo of celebrity, it is returning me like what is the name, like the face, and everything, all the other information related to that celebrity. So, and also it is it's returning like Satya Nadella wearing a suit and a tie. So it's really cool actually. If we upload a new photos, then what happened? Like I'm uploading a photo of Deepak. He's also a celebrity. He is a C Sharp Corner MVP. Uh, so yeah, so yeah, you can see. Unfortunately, it's not returning any information. I'm sorry, brother. So yeah, like we are not
Mm.
that much big celebrity like Satya Nadella yet. So it is like returning the information regarding if we were any celebrity, then it would like give the name of us, and also all the other information regarding us. Like, and the caption is like a man sitting in a car posing for the camera. Wow! Like from the image, it has detected that he is in front of the car and posing for the camera. So this is really cool.
That's nice.
It's really cool
Yeah.
actually. So, and it's not like we can, if we have any existing application like web or mobile or anything, we can use them. And the main, as I've already mentioned, the main reason behind cognitive services is to empower enterprise applications, to give the power of data mining, data analysis, contribution, these type of things. So we can use them. We have option for like video analysis as well, where we can analyze videos in real time. So there's some it's a simple video you can see in real time, like cognitive services like is identifying all of the like objects like outdoor, beach, shore, sport, like from the image, from each frame, and analyzing them from here and returning something. So it's really cool. You can create thumbnail as well, like as you, if you have any web application, if you like generate thumbnail, you need to use different image services, or like you need to run different jobs regarding image services on different virtual machine, on separate virtual machine or resources. But if you use cognitive service, you don't need to think about them. You can directly use cognitive service APIs of creating thumbnail, and it will return you different size of thumbnails for your use. So it's really cool, and it has empowered developers, and it has made our life like very easy. So there are lots of other APIs. These are the like demos of computer vision and face APIs. So other APIs are speech APIs, which are powered by Bing, where voice recognition like speech to text or voice output, text to speech are available. I will show a demo of that one as well. And voice recognition actually converts spoken audio to text. Same backend which powers Cortana and support for 7 languages at launch. So yeah, we can use Louis voice recognition APIs to convert our speech into text very easily. And language understanding is also another part of voice recognition, where intelligence services like determining intent, detecting entities, and improving models are also available uh, in Louis APIs. So if we look at language understanding intelligence service, then we can see that from our speech, our this cognitive service is actually converting our speech to text, and from our speech, from our texture of the voice and all the other information, it is trying to find out the inner meaning of our what we were feeling at that time when we were talking over there, and also like it is also deploying active learnings and also replying the emotion of our voice. So it's really cool actually. And not only that, not only voice APIs, a lot of Microsoft has, we all some of us maybe know about bot services that Microsoft these days are providing, and Microsoft bot frameworks are really popular these days. So you can, this is the screenshot of a very popular app, Xiaoxi, which is the meaning of Xiaoxi is like small eyes. It's a Chinese chat app. You can develop this type of bot-based chat app and launch them in the App Store, or integrate them with your existing mobile service or web application. Suppose you have a web system or a web application where uh, like uh, your system is interacting with the different users, and if users need to search something, you can use or launch one bot service over there, where users will just click on the bot service. A bot will appear and ask them how can I help you, and users will ask right over there I need this sort of service suppose in C# corner, if you're looking, if they integrate bot service over there, and as a user, if I am looking for any article regarding cognitive service, I will just click on the bot service and search over there. I'm looking for a cognitive service related tutorial. Then the bot will automatically search by itself and return me the tutorial link of that cognitive service. So bot will make our life so easy, and it will work as our personal assistant as well. So, and let's see a demo of some Louis and speech APIs. So this is the site of Louis language understanding intelligence service, which is like louis.ai. You can search it over there. So you can see, you can try Louis APIs very easily, where it's like a book me a flight to Cairo. If we utter this sentence using and send it to our Louis API, Louis will return something like this. On the right, you can see it has detected that the sentence is book me a flight to Cairo. So it has detected that the intent of this statement is book flight, and the confidence of detecting my statement, confidence of the accuracy of the intent is 98%. So it has generalized my intent is book flight, and also there is another, it has also set few other intents location finder, reminder, food order. But according to my emotion, my overall statement, it has suggested that my main primary interest of this statement is booking my flight. So, and also it is checking my location, and also on that statement, and returning that as an entity, it is Cairo, and it is type is location. So it's really cool. If you check the another one, order me two pizzas, you can see uh, order me two pizzas, or the intent of order me two pizzas are food order. It has also detected other intents, but from the statement, it has detected that food order is the primary intent of this statement, and it has also like set some entities like two, as I have ordered 2 pizzas, and also it has said, let's select it has added like pizza as an food entity. So you can use the power of Luis APIs as well, where you can integrate them with your system and everything is developed over there. So to use them, you need to go to your Azure account as subscription and get OC like subscriber ID. So it's like a simple console to I'm gonna use one Bing New Search API. So this is a simple console for New Search API where I will need to set a category. I will need OCP API subscription key. I can get the subscription key from Azure. Like I have my subscription key here. I'm selecting the category. My category is sports, and the subscription key is this one. And also you can see the requested URL. It is already here. You don't need to think about the URL. And also the HTTP request, how we should send the request on the server or to the cognitive service. It is also here. So if we use it and click send, then what happened? You can use this console like from dev.cognitive.microsoft.com section. So yeah, after requesting for sports type category of news using my subscription key, it has returned like response status 200, okay, and and the response is like it has like responded a lot of news. Like the first news is like the top 5 picks in the NBA draft are already a certainty. So you can see like news related like the response is totally related to news, and also it is giving us the URL, the content URL, the description, the read link, the name like NBA draft, uh, and NBA, and where we got that link is like a National Basketball Association, and it has also mentioned the type like NBA draft. The provider is Los Angeles Times. Date of published is this date. Category is cluster. So everything is like properly returned to us, so we can easily integrate these facilities with our existing system and use them, and it's very easy to use as well. So you can see top 10 news related informations are returned from this one. So we will just use this HTTP method and header and request section and request URL to integrate this system with our existing application. So yeah, and also there is another option for like Bing spell check that I have mentioned. This is the section for Bing spell check API, where suppose if like we are doing any mistake, like if there is any option in our application where we are interacting with the user, and we need to ensure that all the like all these spells are correct, then we can use Bing spell check like like if we are developing any chat application. Like it's really a great feature if we add being a spell check or spell check like availability on our chat application. We can use cognitive service being spell check API to add this feature. Like there is a line, he will be there in 5 minutes. There is like spelling mistake over here, and when we submitted this one, our cognitive service API has detected the error, and it has returned us the actual the corrected sentence, like he will be there in 5 minutes. So it is very intelligent. We don't need to think about anything. There are options like word breaks, uh, slang. It can detect slang from the statements, and it will also like fix your mistakes. It can detect names from your lines or sentences, and use and use different cases in your statement. It can use like homonymous names, like according to the sentence, what is the meaning of that word, it can update that one. It can detect different types like brands, and also change those like brand cases. So it is really intelligent and powerful as well. So we can easily integrate them in our system, and make our application more interactive, intuitive, and user friendly. So most of the resources are available in cortanaintelligence.com, gallery.cortanaintelligence.com, and microsoft.com/cognitive in these three services. So if you have planned to play with the power of machine learning, you can try with cognitive services. Or if you have any existing solution, then you can easily integrate cognitive services with your existing solution, and make your application more powerful, intuitive, interactive, and user friendly. So that's all about my presentation today. Hope if you have any question, just knock me. If you want, if you face any problem regarding cognitive service, just shoot me email or knock me over Facebook or LinkedIn, or tweet me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is like ANIND0. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed our webinar today.
Thanks a lot, Rahat. It's very interactive. It's very informative. Personally, I enjoyed a lot. It's new learning about cognitive services, and nowadays things are moving towards artificial intelligence, and definitely it would be another, add-on on that. Really, it's increased my understanding about cognitive services a lot. And thanks for such a wonderful session.
Thank you, Deepak. If looks like no one has any question right now,
Yeah,
and it's already like 10:36.
that's right. So we are 6 minutes ahead, so we can call it for now.
Yeah.
And we would like to thanks everybody who has joined, who got the time from their busy schedule. And please keep us posted. As Raha told, keep connect us, give your feedback. Hey, I want to learn about this technology. If not me or Rahat, probably we will find another speaker on Regina chapter. We have onboarded more than 15 different speakers. We have Microsoft MVP's list of speakers. So we will try to address, just keep in connect. We will highly appreciate if you join Regina chapter so that you have all the details of our webinar, our chapter webinars, seminars, annual conference, etc. Rahat, to
Yep.
you.
Thank you. That's all for today. Thank you for joining in our today's webinar. And the recorded session will be available sometime next week in Channel 9. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Have a great day.